Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 14 of this super amazing, awesome Usu Let's Play series. In the last episode, I showed you guys some cool skins, and by cool, I mean skins that I personally have used in the past, and I told you my stories about like what I use them for and things like that. And in this episode, I want to show you guys some cool things you can do in multiplayer lobbies that I have done in the past. And I also want to give a sort of explanation as to what exactly Bancho is in this game, because it's a term that you probably recognize, but I think it's somewhat misunderstood, so I want to shed some light on that. So yeah, before we get started, I want to shout out as usual that I stream every single day over at twitch.tv/digitalhypno. If you want to hang out with me or watch me play this game live, I would highly recommend stopping by and saying hello. Bonus points also, if you tell me that you came from this Let's Play series, I will be very, very happy to see you there. So yeah, without any further ado, let's go. So instead of going to the single player song list, what we're going to do is open the chat menu, which, okay, I clicked this button at the bottom, but you can also, as usual, press F8, and let's type /chat BanchoBot. And this is the global chat bot, basically. So Bancho bot, actually, let me open the F9 menu as well. Okay, so you see up here, it says Osu Bancho. So Bancho is basically the name of the chat servers. Only the chat servers of Osu is what Bancho is. So if you ever hear something saying that, oh, Bancho went down, it does not affect score submission. It does not affect it doesn't affect the website. It doesn't affect anything other than chat and multiplayer also. So anything involving other users being online and interacting with other users, that is what Bancho is. Bancho is basically the bridge that merges the whole Osu world together. But it does not, it's not responsible for your connection to the Osu servers, period, right? So like score submission, things like that, hopefully that's clear. I think that this is something that's been misunderstood for a very long time, so I'm trying to really make sure that it is clear to all of you. So yeah, one more time, if you ever hear anywhere Bancho went down, you can still submit your scores. That is perfectly doable. Okay, so Bancho and score submission are two separate sides of Osu. Okay, with that out of the way, so you saw me type /chat BanchoBot to open this window of the chat window, and I'm going to make a multiplayer lobby. So I showed you in a previous episode how to make multiplayer lobbies and some basic things about them. And in this episode, I'm going to make a multiplayer lobby by just talking to BanchoBot. I'm going to type np make, and then whatever the name of the lobby that I want. So let's say name it something awesome and creative. And okay. And you can pause the music from here, or you can put your mouse outside of anything that scrolls and then use the scroll wheel, and that will also change the volume. Okay. So now you're in a multiplayer lobby by yourself, and so there's a password actually set. Actually, I don't know if it shows here. Okay, but if you can send a multiplayer invite to yourself as well. That's something you can do. So so if you mouse over this, basically multiplayer invites are actually just links, and at the end of the link is the password of the lobby. So when you make a lobby with BanchoBot, it automatically makes a hyper super duper secure password. So that is something to keep in mind if you ever make a multiplayer lobby this way. And this is usually what tournaments do. I think, okay, for example, so let's say you're live streaming your gameplay and you're joining your tournament match. I think BTMC, for example, needs to do this, like really big streamers, when they are joining their multiplayer lobby, they switch off of their Osu screen before like clicking on this link, and that's because the password actually shows. So the 74D009 thing at the end of this little link thingy, that is the password of the lobby. So yeah, it automatically made a very secure password, and that is super awesome. So I covered some basic MP commands, they're called, or multiplayer commands, the whole exclamation MP, things like that. Okay, so let's see some cool things you can do. So I already showed you that you can send invites to yourself. Everything I'm going to show so far is doable without making the lobby with BanchoBot. So keep that in mind. I made the lobby with BanchoBot, but everything else here you can do in normal lobbies. So I'm going to change the size of the lobby to, so let's change it to 4, right? So typically you can only lock up to, you can only make it up to 2 slots. But with the MP commands, you can make it up to 1. Oh wait, what? I just typed start instead of size. Wait, okay. MP abort. Okay. We gotta get out of the map. Okay. Fast way to get out of the map. Oops. MP size 1. Okay, there you go. So yeah, you can make it a 1-player lobby if that is something that you desire. Although I'm not sure exactly why, but I'm just showing you that it is something you can do. Also, it locks. Okay, so let's say I was in this slot instead, and then I typed MP size 1. It would lock this slot. Actually, I can just show you. It'll lock this slot and kick me out of the lobby, and then I can join the lobby again, obviously by just clicking this button. That takes me back. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you ever use the MP size command to make less slots, and then there's some people in here, then like in these bottom slots, then they'll get kicked out of the lobby automatically. So yeah, don't do that. Okay, so I want to also show you. So I can do MP host. Okay, let me give myself host again. Oh yeah. Okay, so when the host of the lobby leaves, when the host leaves the lobby, typically it just gets sent to someone else that was in the lobby. But it is possible for there to be no host in the lobby at all. So in this case, I left the lobby, and okay, that's another thing. Okay, so typical lobbies close when all the players leave the lobby. But when you make the lobby with BanchoBot, then the lobby will only close. It'll close after, I think, 30 minutes of inactivity, or it'll close if you type the command MP close. So those are the 2 ways to close lobbies made by BanchoBot. So if you were ever in a multiplayer lobby by yourself and you want to leave it and then come back without making a new lobby, then you will need to make the lobby with BanchoBot. So yeah, keep that in mind. But yeah, so with that, it is possible for there to be no players in the lobby. And so you can completely get rid of host, basically. And you can just give that back by typing MP host and then username. And thank you, BanchoBot. Thank you, game server bot. Wholesome, awesome, whoop bot. Right, a couple things, right? You can change the team mode. Okay, so I'm going to change this to... Actually, I'm going to leave this how it is. But you can change that with MP commands as well. I think I showed that in the multiplayer episode. I think it was episode 4, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I want to turn on sudden death, and I want to show you some cool things, and it somewhat relates to a story that I'm going to tell as well. So let's start the map. So, yeah, also, okay, so another thing about starting maps. Okay, so this episode is pretty much all just about solo multiplayer. So if you want to start the map, typically you need at least 2 players to be readied up. Even when you have host. But yeah, so if you want to start the lobby by yourself, then you need to type MP start. You need to use the starting command. That can also be done in normal lobbies as well. It doesn't have to be by BanchoBot, but it doesn't have to be a BanchoBot lobby. But anyway, let's take a look at what happens when you play this game. Or what was I going to say? Oh yeah. Okay, so sudden death and multiplayer basically. So. Okay, how do I demonstrate this? Okay, so when you break in... okay, I probably shouldn't have broken so early, but... Okay, so breaking typically... failing, I guess. I should say failing. You know, it makes your circles grayed out and things like that. So when you miss with sudden death, then typically... always, actually, it shoots your health bar all the way down to 0. And then if you have at least 1 miss, then it'll lock your health bar there. But if it was a side break, it'll still jump your health bar to 0, like you saw, but it'll still let you recover. So, and that is basically what I just demonstrated. But, okay, so the cool thing about solo multiplayer lobbies is that, okay, so this is more of like for very niche types of playstyles, such as my own. So, let's say that you only want to submit a score if it's an FC. And okay, so let's say like because of that you want to use the sudden death mod to play the maps because you don't want to have to worry about like missing the last note or something like that. But you still want to be able to play through the entire map. And that is where solo multi comes into play, because when you break your combo, instead of the map just ending automatically, it'll give the whole like, oh, you failed but you can keep playing thing. And it is something that I did for a couple months actually. I mostly played the game that way, and there are some other reasons that I will get to. probably after this map ends, but unless I run out of things to talk about. But yeah, actually, I feel like I ran out of things to talk about already. I was gonna say something, but I don't remember. Something about sudden death and submitting. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So your score. Okay, yeah. So when you fail in multiplayer lobbies and then you come back to life, your score will not submit. Okay, so yeah, your score will only submit if you went through the entire map without failing, because that's typically the only way that your score would submit in normal gameplay. Like in solo, if you fail, then your score can't submit. So in multiplayer, if you fail, you can still keep playing, but your score is not going to submit to the servers. So that is one advantage too. If you don't want to submit a score unless it's an FC, like me, because I'm a bit of a picky tryhard when it comes to my profile, then you could use solo multiplayer lobbies. But let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this map, and then I will demonstrate some cool things that you can do with MP commands to pick maps, basically, specifically for tournament practice. So, and I will explain why exactly I started using solo multiplayer lobbies in the first place. Okay, so I guess I'll just start explaining now because the map's pretty much over. Okay, so tournaments are based on map pools, basically. So when you play tournament, you can't just pick whatever map you want. The tournament organizers select a list of usually around 20 maps that you are given like 1 week to practice, basically. So they release the list of maps, and then 1 week later is when the matches are. So in order to practice those maps, and wait, let me actually find a tournament map pool. I probably should have pulled one up before that, before starting recording. Okay. Let's just do the OWC tryouts lobby, or not lobby, map pool. Okay, so if you go to a maps webpage, the webpage for a map, the beatmap listing thingy, the URL for a map has what's called the beatmap ID, and it is this string of numbers. Yeah, actually, let me see if I can show this. Hopefully this works. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this ID right here. Actually, let me pick a better song. Hold on. I just picked the first one on the list, but I should probably just pick a better song. Okay, let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is a good song. Actually, okay, wait. Never mind. Let's pick another good song. Oh, okay. Let's pick DT4. Okay, thanks, Fancy Lad, for putting this map in the pool. Okay, so this number right here is what's called the map ID, and this is called the map set ID, which is a little different, but basically the very end of the URL. So, okay, so this is in general, it's a little unrelated, but kind of related. This is something that I think you can do probably on any operating system. So obviously so like you click and it highlights, you click on the search bar of your browser and it highlights the whole thing. But if you double click something to like a whole highlight area, it'll automatically select the whole word. So, and you see it's sort of divided by this slash that's right here. I should probably zoom this in. What am I doing? Okay, yeah, so you see this number, so you can double click it. It will automatically highlight the number, so you don't have to worry about like OMG, like moving your cursor the right amount, or like clicking and then waiting a bit and then clicking again so that you can drag your mouse. You can just double click and it'll automatically highlight that thing at the end. Okay, anyway, so highlight that number, copy it. Very long-winded explanation, but just bear with me. Hopefully that was new knowledge to at least one person that's watching. Okay, anyway, you type np map and then Control V, paste the map ID, and that will automatically select the map. And if you don't have the map, okay, I just realized this demonstration doesn't work to show you guys what happens if you don't have the map. But okay, basically, if you don't have the map, then the map will show up right here and there will be a button for you to download it. And that is very awesome because it means, okay, well, what I used to use this for is I would play through map pools in this way because it was a faster way to pick the maps, because these map IDs are typically listed on the spreadsheet where the maps are posted. So I would copy the map IDs from that sheet, and then I would just tab into Osu and do npmap, and then put the map ID, and it would automatically go straight to the map for me. I wouldn't have to worry about finicking with my song list or anything like that. And if I didn't have the map, then it would just be this very quick button to download it straight from the multiplayer lobby. And also, you can automatically use ScoreV2, yeah, you can like leave it on without worrying about like needing to select it as a mod, because yeah, in multiplayer lobbies, ScoreV2 is a toggle thingy, win condition toggle, rather than a mod. So yeah, okay. Anyway, let's see. Let's play this map. Oh, let's use easy for just for fun, just for kicks. I don't think I've played easy so far in this let's play, but yeah. So I used to do this to play tournament maps, and then I would just do MP start, and it was just a much more efficient, especially when I had like 3 or 4 map pools or even more to practice. It's a very nice way to get through everything quickly, spend less time picking the maps and more time playing them. Ooh. Wait, did I turn on ScoreV2? I think I did. This map is crazy. Oh, yeah, so easy mod makes it really dense. Let's see if I can read this and talk at the same time. And also tell a story. Yeah. Okay, so the year was 2018. I cannot read this and talk at the same time. Okay, yeah, so the year was 2018, and I was in many tournaments, and I had this great idea. Okay, so that's when I started using solo multi to practice map pools. This story is gonna be very slow because I'm trying to play this map. Okay, but bear with me. Okay, so the thing about solo multiplayer is that, right, your score doesn't submit. I think I've already mentioned that. But the fact that the score doesn't submit means that it doesn't give you any play count. So I started using, oh shoot, I can't read. Okay, why did I turn on easy? Okay, anyway, so score doesn't submit in solo multi unless you FC, which is something that I like to do for single player, going for scores, and it is also just a faster way to pick maps for tournament practice. Okay, so basically, solo multiplayer lobbies were faster for tournament practice, and they were also, I guess, more efficient for going for scores in single player. Because if I didn't want to submit the score, I could just miss. I could turn on sudden death, and then if I missed, then I could still finish playing the map instead of like needing to, like make it practice difficulty or something like that. So, oh my god, this map. Okay, anyway, so in 2018, was it? Yeah, it must have been 2018. I think early 2018. I pretty much only played in solo multiplayer lobbies, and as a result, I had pretty much like no play count in those months, even though I was playing the game pretty often. It was all in solo multi. For the most part, I was also only playing ScoreV2, because I was mostly just practicing for tournaments. But even when I was going for scores, I would only ever get play count if the score actually submitted. Like if I ended up FCing and submitting, right? So, which is not super often. So I ended up having like almost no play count in those months. And around this time was when the new website came out. Yeah, so yeah, Osu website remodel. Oh my god, my brain is not working right now. I cannot read this map and play it. Okay, I feel like I've said that like 5 times. Anyway. So there were a couple months in the start of 2018 where I just had like no play count, and the old Osu website didn't show the specific amount of play count that you had in a specific month. But the new website, like, right, if you mouse over the play count graph, it'll show you the exact amount of plays that you got in a specific month. And right when that feature came out, no, 90%. Okay, anyway, let's find another map. Hey Chance. Oh, just having a good time. This is an old friend of mine. Hey Chance. But anyway, so I noticed Hold on, let me pick another map. No more multitasking. Yuikonnu. There was another map I wanted to show you guys, and then I'll probably end the video after that. Let's play this with hidden, since I already have a score on it. Okay, how long have I been recording? Okay, yeah. I'll play this map and then wrap up the story. Okay, 4 minutes to wrap up the story. Let's do this. So, oh shoot, I just read it up for no reason. What am I doing? Okay, anyway. So, I noticed that like in the recent months, like in 2018, I had like no play count, even though I was obviously playing the game very actively. And I was like, wow, this looks kind of odd on my historical graph. I wonder like what my graph is going to end up looking like in, I don't know, like in the future when I start playing, I guess, solo multi, or like solo normally rather than in multiplayer lobbies, and like getting more play count again. It's gonna seem like I sort of took a break from the game, which is not actually true. I was really active in that time. Like, I think some of those months in 2018, I had like 19 play count. I think I had more tournament matches, like entire matches, than I had play count in those months. It was kind of insane. I was playing so many tournaments. But anyway, I just thought about like what my graph might look like in the future with like this huge dip in my historical graph. And then I just got this brilliant idea. I was like, what if I made it look exactly like what if I just mirrored it? Like, I made it look exactly how it did in the past. And I don't remember exactly how long I considered the idea before I decided to do it. I was like, that would be such a cool idea. And okay, so I messaged one of my friends, Apraxia. I messaged him on Discord about it. I was like, dude, Apraxia, I'm such a genius. I'm gonna mirror my play count graph. And I like typed out I planned out the exact play counts that I needed for like the next few months. And I was like, yeah, this is such a good idea. I'm doing this. It's gonna be so much fun. And I guess at the time, I never really considered like the end goal, or like sort of like making it all the way to the end, I guess. I just kind of thought it would be a fun idea. But like once I started mirroring my play count graph, I was like, okay, well now I can't stop, because then like everyone's gonna know. There's gonna be these few months where I tried mirroring my play count and then it just like died and I started doing random stuff again. So yeah, it just kind of became a thing that I kept doing. And okay, so I think the first time that it got like public awareness. Oh, what? Misread. So there was one time where I was trying to. Okay, basically what I would do is in the last few days of the month, I would try to get play count very quickly, or I would call it farming play count. So I would try to farm play count and just like meet whatever number of play count I had, like I was supposed to get in that month. And yeah, I would leave it to the end of the month so that I wasn't like pressured to so I don't know, so I didn't have to worry about playing too much throughout the month. And also I think my playstyle generally had changed a lot since like when I first started playing this game. Like I don't just like only spam ranked maps, like maps that give play count. Oh, what? Yeah, anyway, yeah, so it's actually very hard for me to like naturally reach the same amounts of play count that I did in the past. So I meet the play count requirement for each month by playing Catch the Beat, which is another game mode in Ozu, and I just like, because it takes, I think, the least amount of energy of all the modes, and it's also like, I think it requires the least focus, and you can like get play count very quickly. So yeah, so basically at the end of each month, I would just play Catch the Beat and farm play count to meet that month's goal. And in, I think 2019, I think, or something like that, 2018 or 2019, September, I want to say, I like got play count so quickly. So I didn't know this at the time, but apparently if you get play count very, very quickly on like the same map, then your account gets automatically restricted, because so restricted is basically temporarily banned. And it's apparently this thing that like it automatically flags your account for suspicious activity. I think it's something that some people do. They like farm play count to make their account look more legit if they're like not actually playing the game, like if they're cheating or something. But they just farm play count to make it seem like they just kind of play the game a lot, even though they're actually not legit. But so yeah, I think that's something that exists in the game to like automatically flag accounts to like look into them or something like that. So my account got automatically restricted. And when I was like, it was like the last day of the month. I was trying to finish playcount farming for that month, and I got restricted. And I was like, that's not very cool. But thankfully, it got resolved. I think within an hour. And yeah, there was a Reddit post about it as well. And I think that was the first time that the playcount graph mirroring thingy got publicized. And yeah, since then, I think there have been 2 Reddit posts about the graph. But if anyone's listening, I want to be the one to post about it when it's done. So I usually don't say that, but I guess since it came to mind, I do want to be the one to make a Reddit post about the graph when it is done. So yeah. Anyway, mostly in this episode, actually, let me see what Chin said. Said, oh, OMG, hanging out. Oh, oh. Okay, wait. Let me finish recording. Okay, so yeah, I think mostly I just wanted to cover some cool things about solo multiplayer and Bancho and tell this story about my playcount graph. So hopefully you found that somewhat entertaining. Apologies for a slow brain today while trying to read easy mod. That was probably a bad idea. I'm not going to do that again. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys are watching this in the future, definitely check out my channel or subscribe if you have not already, because I upload these every single day. And yeah, check out my Twitch channel as well, where I live stream every single day as well. But yeah, with that, oh shoot, that was loud. Yeah, with that, I will see you guys next time.